Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the Hockey Show. We are coming to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Consol Energy Center, the home of the 2013 Frozen Four. I'm Paul Altmaier, Horace Greeley, as always, alongside. And Horace, we've been to a bunch of these. Tonight, though, first, two teams who've never been in here, two teams from Connecticut, Yale and Quinnipiac.
Well, I tell you, if 4 years ago you told somebody these teams would be in it, they'd put you away. The four teams that came here to represent their schools to win the Frozen Four, there was only one of the teams that's been here before, and that was from St. Cloud, Minnesota. The other three teams had never tasted the Frozen Four before. Whichever team wins, and we know now it's either going to be Quinnipiac or Yale, is going to be the first time ever that they've won the tournament, and that's great for college hockey. Great
indeed. I mean, Quinnipiac took a route through the East, through Providence. They beat Canisius. They then took on Union and beat Union. Union had beaten Boston College. And then Quinnipiac here beat St. Cloud State, as you just mentioned. Yale, conversely, a much tougher road out of the West. They beat Minnesota. They then went on to beat North Dakota. And they beat Minnesota in overtime, by the way.
Correct.
Then they beat North Dakota. And they then beat who everyone, myself, a lot of folks thought would go all the way, UMass Lowell.
Yeah.
Here, and thus Yale, Quinnipiac in the finals.
Well, UMass Lowell was ranked high all year nationally. Quinnipiac was ranked 1, 2, or 3 nationally all year.
So let's talk about Yale University. They're led by Kenny D'Agostino, a kid out of right here in Pittsburgh. Or I shouldn't say right out of here, Pittsburgh draft pick, and their leading scorer, Quinnipiac. Jones, Pekka, not related to our buddy from Buffalo, but
no.
You know, they've got that big line. So who do you like tonight as far as Yale and Quinnipiac?
And I'll tell you what, the Jones and the Pekka line. Now, you know, when you say Jones, you got to say Joneses because they're twins.
That's right.
They're twins on that line. I tell you what, Quinnipiac's beat Yale 3 times this year. You know what? The odds say you can't beat a team 4 times in a row. You can, but the odds are against you that you will. And Yale's a different team than what they were when they played Quinnipiac. Yale knocked out some big-time hockey teams in this tournament, and they played great the other night too. So I don't know which way to lean. Yale's got a good defense, and they can put the puck in the net. Quinnipiac certainly has proven that they can put the puck in the net from either line, the Samuel Thompson line as well as the Pekka line. And they've got an unbelievable goalie who was a Hobie Baker candidate, but unfortunately didn't collect that trophy.
The senior Eric Hartzell, absolutely, and getting it from St. Cloud State, Drew LeBlanc, who immediately turned around and signed a pro contract, I believe, with Buffalo. He might even be in the Buffalo lineup tonight. A lot of kids have signed contracts since their team has been bounced.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about the event as a whole. I think the city of Pittsburgh's done a wonderful job laying out literally the red carpet for the players and putting on, you know, just a great welcoming atmosphere for the people here. We've seen a lot of people from a lot of other cities, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Like you said, you buy your tickets, you don't know who's going to be here. So folks from all over the country have come. It could have been a little bit of a better crowd, I thought, Thursday, but again, you've got folks from you know, all over the country coming, and you've got schools who aren't exactly that close to Pittsburgh.
Well, not only that, I think the schools that are here surprised everybody, and some of the bigger colleges aren't here, which draw very well. As far as the city of Pittsburgh, they do a great job. The NCAA does a great job working with the cities where the Frozen Four is. They always do the Fan Fest, and they put the carpet out every city so far. They've done a nice job, the NCAA has doing that.
And of course, it's a great sports city, Heinz Field, in close proximity of our hotel. We were able to walk over to PNC Park last night on the Roberto Clemente Bridge.
That's right.
And I know you found a favorite area of town as well. You stopped at a place called Bluff, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
So you found some things to do on one of the off nights?
That's all rumor. That's all rumor. I was at the ballpark for 8.5 innings.
But to get back to the tournament itself, I mean, we've seen some tremendous hockey. We met a guy, I think, at the airport. You asked him who he was rooting for, and he said, I just want to see good hockey.
Yeah.
And there has certainly been an abundance of that. These kids just put on a great show year after year, whether it was the Hockey East Finals, the regionals in Providence that we saw, or the Frozen Four here.
Well, I keep reminding you all that these guys don't have the $1 million contracts. They're playing for it. And you had mentioned earlier, with some of these guys go right from their schools being eliminated right into the NHL. And you know, then they get a chance to make the money. So this is a showcase as well as winning a team championship for their college.
I mentioned earlier, Yale's got some kids who have been drafted. Their leading scorer, Kenny Agostino, a Pittsburgh draft pick. They also have a big defenseman, a freshman, Rob O'Gara, who's a Bruins draft pick. He's 6'4", 200 pounds plus. If you look at their list too, they've got freshman forward Matthew Beattie, a Vancouver pick, and also Gus Young, a junior defenseman taken by Colorado. And if I'm not mistaken, you'd mentioned Jordan Samuels-Thomas, a Winnipeg draft pick,
right,
and Matthew Pekka, no relation to Michael Pekka.
No.
He's a Tampa Bay Lightning draft pick. And you can be sure some of these kids, if Quinnipiac win or lose, some of the seniors might sign a contract over the next 48 hours.
Absolutely. They got about 11 seniors on the team, and there's some real good hockey players. Some of them can definitely step into the NHL. And you know, it was an interesting trend too that some of the players said that they were here for 4 years. They were going to play for their school for 4 years before they went to the NHL. That'll be interesting to see.
All right, Bob, let's talk about one thing. In all the years we've been doing this show, have you ever heard of kids from Yale or Quinnipiac or St. Cloud State or even UMass Lowell?
Not on the hockey team, no.
On the hockey blotter, the police blotter.
It's not on the police blotter because they're playing hockey.
That's right.
Right there.
There you go, folks. Well, we do have an abbreviated version of the police blotter.
Which happens to be my favorite part of the show.
Absolutely. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers' Daquan Bowers has pleaded guilty to a New York City gun arrest. He decided to bring a loaded handgun onto a plane at LaGuardia. You don't do that, folks. Daquan Bowers, don't do that. Did you ever hear Johnny Bowers bringing guns on when he was playing hockey?
No, that could happen to anybody.
Sure it could. Sure it could. And you're right, because welterweight boxer Roberto Guerrero was also recently arrested at LaGuardia for trying to board a flight to Las Vegas with a gun. He is scheduled to fight for the title against Floyd Mayweather on May 4th. You never heard of Roberto Luongo taking guns on the planes, did you?
No, of course not. Evidently, LaGuardia's busy, huh?
Absolutely. All right, here's a good one. 2 Boise State Hoops players recently arrested. One from the men's team, one from the women's team. Kenny Bucker from the men's team, Brandy Henton from the women's team. Shoplifting food. This is the 3rd time this has happened to Bucker.
You know, maybe they haven't done it together. One buys the main course, the other one steals, allegedly, and the other one steals the dessert. That could happen. I hope they have a nice meal and settle in for the night with a good movie.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Eric Hartzell, the Hobie Baker runner-up from Quinnipiac, has never shoplifted food.
I bet not.
No. And for the 3rd time in less than 3 months, a Texas football player has been arrested. Kendall Sanders, a wide receiver, got grabbed for OUI at 5:10 Saturday morning.
5:10 Saturday morning.
Yes, driving around campus with his headlights off, I believe. No, that was another one. That was another one. Let's go down to Iowa State. The Cyclones defensive end, Willie Scott, was arrested for possession of marijuana earlier this week. Police pulled him over while he was driving around campus with his headlights on during the day, and they found a leafy green substance on his lap. Well, I'd imagine Willie Plett was never pulled over with a leafy green substance in his lap, would you?
Or Willie O'Ree, for that matter.
Absolutely.
Oh, another hockey great.
Well, we're coming to you from the Frozen Four. We're going to jump gears quickly, though, to the professional game. The Bruins, 1 step forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
Getting closer to the playoffs, and you cannot advance in the playoffs if it's 1 step forward, 1 step back, because it catches up to you eventually.
Absolutely. There's 8, 9 games left, and they're not playing like a team that can go that far. You need some consistency. 3 in a row, 4 in a row, whatever it might be. You can't win one, lose one, win one, lose one. It doesn't help you in the rankings at all. And even if they do outpoint Montreal, end up as the 1st seed. They have a tough time with some of these other teams that they're supposed to be beating handily, and they're just not doing that. Yager comes, he gets the first goal in his first game off his skate. Other than that, I mean, he opens the ice up for other guys, but they had him on the 4th line at one point the other day, and if you open up more ice for guys like Thornton and Lucic, you can't depend on those guys.
Thornton or Horton?
Horton, I'm sorry, Horton. Horton and Lucic, those guys can't put the puck in the net. I don't understand it. And then Horton, you know how he is. He can get on fire and score 8 goals in 3 games. You know, it's crazy with him.
Well, a couple things have happened since we last came to you. Bergeron, his 4th concussion.
Yeah.
Now we've got Brad Marchand with a mild concussion.
Yeah, yeah.
We also saw in a recent game Alexei Emlin, who nearly killed Tyler Sagan with a stick to the ribs. He ran into Lucic, and he's done for the year. I can't feel too bad for a guy like that. What goes around comes around.
You wouldn't feel that bad.
And you know something too, with what Volchenkov did to Marchand, something's going to happen to him. His day will come.
Well, like Ulf Samuelson, one of your favorite.
No, he's not one of my favorites. And we saw someone here in town with a Samuelson shirt on, and we had to say something to him.
I had to settle you down, is what I had to do.
That's right. You took the knives away at dinner.
I think Patrice Bergeron has to come back. I think Marchand has to come back. At least those guys add so much to the team. Bergeron can win some faceoffs for you. And Marchand, the little ball of hate, as you referred to, he gets under some guys' skins and he can cause some problems. And he's got quick hands in front of the net, and they need that right now.
They need something right now, because scoring 1 goal a game, it's like I said before, won't get you too far in the playoffs, and those playoffs are right around the corner. Granted, we'd rather see him sputtering right now than get hot in May, but you know what? If this is a portent of things to come, that's not good.
Yeah, I think they need the talent right now. They don't have it.
Well, what we want to do right now is let you take a look at some of the sights and sounds from this year's Frozen Four.
Hold on.
For the Yale Bulldogs, please take your position at center ice for the awards presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. It's our pleasure to begin the 2013 NCAA Men's Frozen Four National Championship Award Ceremony. At this time, please turn your attention to center ice to join the NCAA Division I Men's Ice Hockey Committee Chair and Notre Dame Senior Athletic Director, Tom Novella, and ESPN's playback for the presentation of the 2013 NCAA National Championship Trophy.
Congratulations to the Yale Bulldogs, and now my introduced NCAA Division I Men's Ice Hockey Committee Chair for the trophy presentation. Tom.
Thank you, Clay. I must start by first thanking our folks here from Robert Morris University, Consol Energy Center, Pittsburgh Penguins. Visit Pittsburgh for hosting a tremendous Frozen Four. We also should recognize at this time our five semifinalists, UMass Lowell, St. Cloud State, for great performances that got them here to Pittsburgh, and also for an outstanding season at Winnipeg. Great job by them all year in Pittsburgh. But most importantly, your 2013 national champions from Yale University.
Coach, you were the last team on the field, the 16th seed, but you proved to be the best team on the field. How do you describe the run by this team over the last 2 weeks?
Well, if you look at the character of the kids we had in the locker room, you're going to be surprised. It's a tribute to them and the senior leadership. The kids just work, they believe, and they don't play every on the field.
Jim Malcolm was the rock again tonight. He has been for the NCAA. As a former Yale goaltender yourself, how do you describe your goalie's work?
Outstanding, unbelievable. To get a shutout in the national championship game is just amazing.
Coach, many people across the country don't know about Yale not having scholarships. Yet here you are, national champions. This program has done some unbelievable things under your watch. But I know you want to talk about your mentor, Tim Taylor, tonight.
In fact, I know Tim's watching, so I'd like to say hello to Tim. And also the entire Yale administration, the president, the senior director, our associate and they're the reason some of these guys are here.
Alright, so then let's do team.
Congratulations.
Type
The Yale Bulldogs are national champions for 2014.
Do you want to see the XML? Yeah, we can do it. Okay, so.
And now we would like to announce this year's all-tournament team and most outstanding performer. The 2013 NCAA Men's Frozen Four all-tournament team is on the bench for the Yale Bulldogs, number 2, Gus Young. For the Winnipeg Bobcats, number 3, Zach Davis. At forward, for Winnipeg, number 19, Jordan Samuels-Thomas. For the Yale Bulldogs, number 15, Clinton Burnett. And at forward, number 17 of the Yale Bulldogs, Andrew Miller. This year's most outstanding performer is, for the Yale Bulldogs, number 17, and Brown Medal.
This is less young and dated, right?
Let's give all these student athletes a big round of applause.
We should probably do defense. Like, if it's not anything with defense boards, let's just do, Andrew Miller.
Maybe it's Steve Miller and Clean.
Yeah, Miller. I would just trade him. I would go with that. We should, we got an independent defense.
Well, Bob, once again, like we said at the start of this abbreviated version of the hockey show, this is just a great event. It's going to be in Philadelphia next year. They haven't decided on future venues, 2015 and on. If you folks can make it down to Philadelphia, tickets, although they usually sell out, they're available. You can get in there, and it's just it's an unbelievable atmosphere. The host cities put on just such a great time for sports fans, and there's usually something to do on the off night, on the Friday night. You can go and watch the Hobie Baker Award.
Yeah.
Presented Drew LeBlanc from St. Cloud State this year. So it's
Usually there's a baseball game that night too. I mean, there's plenty to do when you get there. It should be on the bucket list for any great hockey fan. You have to go to a Frozen Four.
Well, that's going to do it for this abbreviated version from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the Frozen Four. For Horace Greeley, I'm Paul Altmaier saying, good things happen when you go to the net.